What do you usually do with old empty paint cans like these? Do you throw them away to clear up space, or collect them to sell for scrap? Have you ever thought that old spray paint cans could actually be reused and repurposed? I bet most people would just throw them away because recycling them seems too complicated. But trust me, with a bit of creativity and a few simple steps, you can turn them into a reusable spray paint bottle that works again and again. Let's get started and uncover the hidden potential of old spray paint cans and create some truly one-of-a-kind pieces. Before you start, make sure the spray paint cans are completely empty. This is important not only for safety reasons, but also to ensure that the process goes smoothly and you can work on them without any leftover pressure or paint inside. Now I'll remove the top part of the can. When removing the top part of the can, be careful to keep the spray nozzle assembly intact. Once the lid comes off, make sure the spray nozzle and the small tube underneath remain attached. You'll need them later to reuse the spray function. You can use a cutting tool, such as a mini grinder or rotary cutter. Carefully cut along the upper edge of the can, following the circular rim. Keep the push button and the small tube inside. These are essential parts that allow the paint to be sprayed out smoothly later on. Continue cutting carefully to separate the spray valve section from the can. Make sure to go slowly and follow the edge around the base of the valve. After cutting, trim around the edges to smooth them out. You can use a file or sandpaper to remove any sharp or uneven parts, making the surface cleaner and safer to handle. Once it's fully detached, you'll have a complete spray mechanism, including the nozzle, button, and internal tube, ready to be reused in your new project. If there are still two small marbles inside the paint can, don't throw them away. You can reuse them too. Use a bit of WD-40 to clean off any leftover paint sticking to these parts. Spray a small amount directly onto the surface, then wipe it with a cloth or paper towel. WD-40 works by breaking down and loosening the bond between the dried paint and the surface. Its solvent properties help soften stubborn paint residues, making them easier to wipe away. Spraying WD-40 on is quick and effortless. Just a light press on the nozzle and it spreads evenly across the surface. The liquid seeps into small gaps and softens the paint almost instantly, making the cleaning process smooth and easy. After cleaning the tube, continue the other parts: the push button, the spray valve, and finally the two small metal balls. Spray a bit of WD-40 on each piece, then wipe them carefully with a cloth. Make sure to remove all paint residue and dirt so everything looks clean and moves smoothly when reassembled later. After spraying WD-40 and wiping, the parts look almost like new. The metal surfaces are shiny, free of paint residue, and the small components move smoothly. Even tiny areas and crevices are clean, making the pieces ready for reuse without any sticky or rough spots. Next, take a plastic bottle. You can even use an empty one that's been used before. Make sure it's clean and dry, as this will serve as the main container for your repurposed spray paint setup. Drill a hole in the bottle cap, just big enough for the spray tube or nozzle to fit snugly. This hole will allow you to attach the spray mechanism securely to the bottle. Insert the spray valve into the hole you drilled in the cap, making sure it fits tightly. The valve should sit securely so that when you press the button, it sprays properly without any leaks. The valve seems a bit too large a hole, so I'll trim around the edges slightly. This will help it fit snugly into the cap, while ensuring a secure and leak-free connection. Once the valve fits properly, secure it in place using super glue. Apply a small amount around the edges where the valve meets the cap, press firmly, and let it dry completely. Next, add some baking soda into the bottle. This can help absorb any leftover moisture and prevent clogs, keeping the spray mechanism working smoothly. Then, drip a little super glue onto the baking soda so it hardens in place. This creates a solid layer that stabilizes the powder and prevents it from shifting around inside the bottle. Now, reattach the push button and the internal tube to the valve. Make sure the button clicks properly and the tube is seated securely so the spray mechanism functions smoothly. Next, take a tire valve stem. This will be used to create a secure air or pressure connection for your DIY spray setup. You'll need a small piece of rubber to act as a gasket or seal for the tire valve. This will help prevent any air or liquid from leaking around the valve once it's installed. Drill a hole in the side of the plastic bottle, just big enough to fit the tire valve snugly. This hole will serve as the mounting point for the valve, allowing air or pressure to enter the bottle. Remember to drill the hole higher up on the bottle, near the neck. This placement ensures better stability and proper function of the valve when the bottle is in use. Insert the tire valve stem to the hole you just drilled, making sure it passes all the way through and sits securely in place. And the rubber gasket you prepared earlier will seal any gaps around the valve, ensuring a tight, leak-free connection and making the attachment more secure. Next, reinsert the valve core into the tire valve stem. This completes the assembly and allows the valve to function properly, controlling the flow of air or liquid. Later, when you pump air, it will pass through this tire valve, allowing you to pressurize the bottle safely and efficiently. Drop in the 2 small marbles and then screw the bottle cap back on tightly. These marbles will help mix the contents when shaken and ensure the spray mechanism works smoothly. Now, pour in the paint of your choice into the bottle. Make sure not to overfill. Leave some space at the top so the contents can move freely when shaken and the spray mechanism can operate properly. I'm going to use oil-based paint, and to make it sprayable, we need to thin it out first. This will ensure it flows smoothly through the nozzle without clogging. I'll use a thinner to dilute the paint. Add it gradually while stirring to achieve the right consistency for spraying. For this project, we'll use a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts paint to 1 part thinner. This slightly higher paint concentration still allows smooth spraying while keeping the color rich and consistent. Screw the bottle cap back on and shake the bottle thoroughly. The marbles inside will help mix the paint evenly, ensuring a consistent color and smooth spray. Now, I'll pump air into the bottle through the tire valve. This pressurizes the container, allowing the paint to be sprayed out effectively. I'll use a hand pump to add air through the tire valve. This way, you can control the pressure safely and gradually until the bottle is ready for spraying. Be careful when pumping air into the plastic bottle. Don't overinflate it. Aim for around 20 psi. This level of pressure is sufficient to operate the spray mechanism smoothly, while also ensuring the bottle remains safe and doesn't risk bursting. You'll know the bottle is properly pressurized when it feels firm to the touch. Give a gentle squeeze. If it feels taut but not overly hard, that's the right pressure for spraying safely and effectively. Now it's time to test the spray. Press the push button gently and watch how the paint comes out. If the spray is even and consistent, everything is working perfectly. You can adjust the pressure slightly or shake the bottle more if needed to get a smooth, uniform spray. The result is really impressive. The paint sprays out evenly and smoothly, just like a brand new spray can. It's not only fun to use, but also highly effective, allowing you to cover surfaces quickly and precisely. The DIY setup works surprisingly well, showing that with a little creativity, you can repurpose old materials into something practical and efficient. Now it's your turn. Get experimenting and create your own one-of-kind spray projects.